Darkness rises, and the light to meet it. Hello, I'm Matt Benwin, and welcome to my Star Wars The Last Jedi review. Yes, it's finally here! And also, you know how this goes. Popcorn tin, collectible cup, I got do this every year. Different this year is that this thing from Regal is a lot more bigger than the last one. The company gave us was too big. Couldn't fit the straw that's in the stand. They couldn't have a straw that comes with the cup. It's ridiculous. It still smells like pop, but I cleaned it. It smells like pop mixed with soap. What? This Kylo Ren part of the cup looks pretty good. Also, Luke face covered. Please bring a BB-8 hat. Got these things as well. So, The Last Jedi is a unique and different Star Wars. It feels different, unlike how The Force Awakens was a rehash of A New Hope. Well, this has some elements in from Empire and Return of the Jedi, which I'm a big fan of Return of the Jedi still. Still like The Force Awakens, but it really just feels different and unique still. What people should expect it from this movie, what audience scores, is it's all in the trailer. This is not going to go the way you think. Also, before I watched The Last Jedi, I watched a lot of Rian Johnson's movies, actually mostly 2 movies. He had like a 3rd movie, I think, but I didn't watch it. So I picked up on his camera working and the way he films, the way he does it with actors, stuff like that. Also, he seems to have mimicked George's look as well. I think it's more on the Canto Bight scenes, because that Canto Bight feels a lot prequel-ish. So let's begin. So the First Order finds the rebel base. They send one pilot to stall them a little bit. That pilot is, you know, guess it, Poe Dameron. So Poe tries stalling him for a little bit. He does do another Joss Whedon type joke in this, like how he did in the first one. When I saw it for the second time, it didn't bother me as much. I guess the Whedon-isms don't bother me that much anymore as they used to when I first heard them. But since Joss Whedon's not working at Disney anymore, he can't pop into offices no more. Hey, JJ, want some jokes in your Star Wars movie? Hey, Rian Johnson, want some jokes for your Star Wars movie? Can't do that anymore. He's over at DC now, or Warner Brothers. Man, they're gonna love him and his cheating stuff. So, yeah, Poe tries to, like, stall him with that Whedon joke again, paging General Hux, kind of talking to General Hux, and just stalling down, like, annoying General Hux. General Hux gets pushed around a lot in this movie, and in the last one he was very yellish. I think a lot of Imperials are very yellish. Krennic was very yellish. He was the most yellish. Krennic was very yelly. So, but the Force Order does fire on the Resistance base, and the Resistance gets out of there just in time. But also, Poe wants to destroy all those cannons on one of the giant Star Destroyers. I think it's called a Dreadnought. So yeah, he wants to take out that. So the rest of the Resistance come try to take out that ship. Well, Leia doesn't want them to do that, and Poe's not listening to him. I guess all the other Resistance fighters are listening to Poe, and then we get our space battle. And yeah, it does look very warlike. I think more warlike than Rogue One did it. Yeah, this one looks very much more looks like a war movie than Rogue One. Put the war in Star Wars. Like, Rogue One should have done that. I'm glad a main Star Wars movie did that. So the Resistance end up taking the Dreadnought down with some sacrifices between the bombers, especially one bomber that was Rose Tico's sister. Cut the necklace, which I'll get to later about that character. Well, Leia is disappointed because, well, they may have destroyed a Dreadnought, but in that process destroying it, they end up destroying half their fleet, and that's when Poe gets demoted. It's like almost how can we fight a war without an army kind of situation, and that's what Poe learns during the rest of this movie, mostly at the end. But let's continue. When Finn wakes up, he's just walking in his Bacta suit that he has on. He's like, what's happening? A lot of times with the Finn characters is a lot like what's going on around him. It's like, man, the First Order should have more in tune with their soldiers so they know what's going on. So Poe sees them and he asks,
"Where's Rey?"
So, continue. Where has our new main character has been up to? Where were they last?
And is giving him the lightsaber.
There we go. So when Rey hands the lightsaber to him, grabs it and like throws it in the back of his head. He doesn't care anymore. Well, we find out why he doesn't care anymore. Well, to actually get him to, like, talk, she gets Chewie to knock down his door in his house, in his little hut that he has. We thought it was Rey, because she knows how to use the Force. So we thought she pushed the door, but nah, it's Chewie. And then when Luke sees Chewie again, he's like, wait a minute, where's Han? So she explains what happened from the last movie to him, and he still doesn't want to take part in any of this. The reason why he came here, he just came here to die. He doesn't want to, like, do any of this. I also like it that Luke says laser sword, but I think he says it ironically. It feels ironically. You think I'm just gonna stand up against the First Order with a laser sword? I really think he says it's ironic. That's why. So Rey ends up following him around all day, or I don't know how long that planet lasts. Shorter than the actual planet, because the Resistance is supposed to have like 18 hours of fuel left. Or did this take place earlier? The time frame is a little confusing a little bit right now. I hope they'll explain it when the novelization comes out or when Rian Johnson does his audio commentary. So yeah, she's following him around in his daily routines. I also really like Luke's daily routine. He goes fishing and then he goes for some milk from a sea cow. I like that. Like after he finished milking it, he just goes and drinks it. It's like, yeah, well, this is my life now. And that sea cow goes and looks at Rey, like, want some milk? I got plenty of it. Also, it was green milk. And also, blue milk is from Banthas, if you remember the blue milk from the original movie. And then she hears the Force Tree talking to her, or the Force Tree trying to get her attention. So she goes there and she's like, she's in there, like, trying to, like, understand what's going on. She just goes to the Force book. And then Luke sees that she's in the tree and, like, why have they sent you? What's so special about you? Then she explains that, like, there's something inside me that's always been there and now it's awakened. Force awakened. Like, you need a teacher, but I'm not the one to train. Man, Luke is very stubborn in his old age. More stubborn than Han. This is a damaged man. So later that night, Luke goes on the Falcon, and, like, he hasn't probably been there in years, and takes Han's dice and sits down and thinks about what has been going on, and then R2 shows up. Luke is like wondering what should I do, and then R2 shows that old message of Leia, like,
help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
And then he goes like, cheap shot. Well, Luke is the only hope now. Thanks, R2. So he like goes over to Rey, where I think she's sleeping outside when it's raining. He's like, I'll teach you the ways of the Force in the morning, and why it's bad to learn the ways of the Force. So let's go to the dark side of the story now. No, not the fans. So Snoke is disappointed in Kylo Ren because Scavenger Girl beat his ass.
You got beat up by a girl.
It's funny if you think about it. Well, he was shot. He got beat up by a girl. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So yeah, he got beat up by a girl. Snoke was thinking that he might be the next Darth Vader. Now he got his ass beat from a person that never used a whole lightsaber, that only knows staff moves, thinks that he's still a Solo, not Kylo Ren. You know, I also think the reason why he says take off that ridiculous mask, from what I take from it, since Snoke doesn't see him as the next Darth Vader, so why have a mask that's like Darth Vader? That's my take from it. Then he just sees the foolish boy, still Han Solo's son, and then Kylo tries to attack him. We see some Force lightning, Kylo leaves, and then that's when he destroys his helmet in the elevator. Adam Driver, he knows how to do a lot of, like, it's his facial expressions in this movie. He goes from very embarrassed-like, even with the helmet on, when you first see him again, he looks embarrassed, because we know what he did last movie. He got defeated by a girl, and when he's in that elevator before he destroyed that helmet, he looks sad and embarrassed and all these things that possibly going through Kylo Ren's head. Driver does a great expressionless look. He knows what to do. And also, I think no one sees Kylo Ren without his helmet, because I just think that no one ever saw him without his helmet. Unless there was that one time where when he goes to Snoke in the last movie, goes up to the commanders like, prepare my ship. All they do go up and straighten themselves. Sir, prepare my ship. And he goes in his TIE silencer, destroys a bunch of resistance ships. I wonder which piloting skills he gets. Does he get his father's or does he get his grandfather's? Also, forgot that they're tracking them through hyperspace. Every time when the resistance goes through hyperspace, they're right on our tail. So the moment we thought was going to happen, like Leia dying, that he was going to kill his mom, possibly to fulfill his dark side duties, but no, he doesn't. Other TIE fighters go in and destroy that part of the ship. Also, did you not notice that Admiral Ackbar was destroying that ship? I didn't notice in the first time until people started pointing that out in like other people's reviews. I have my own opinions, but I still like to watch them because I also want to see it again. And like, oh, I caught that. Yeah, and then we see Leia flying through space, which is weird. It's a unique Force ability, I guess. I wish we would see like more of a Force bubble or something like that. She just goes do the Superman thing or get Mjolnir. Somebody should put a hammer in front of her hand. That would be hilarious if it happened. So as they put Leia in a coma, so while Leia is in a coma, Vice Admiral Hodo is in charge. Laura Dern's character from Jurassic Park. There is a surprising Jurassic Park Easter egg in this movie, but it takes place in Canto Bight, and Hodo looks like she might be in Canto Bight because she's all very fancy-like and purple hair-ish. And it threw me off because I thought she was being Canto Bight, I do think she was be part of Leia's group, but it'd be in the Canto Bight scene. That's what I thought. She also drops Finn grabs the bracelet that Leia has so Rey can find her way back home. So and then Finn wants to get away from this place so when Rey comes back she'll be safe. Instead of having to go to nothing. Leia had that when she was in space too. So just imagine if she actually did die. Also, minor note that Ryan Johnson said that he kept the movie intact even when the character should die. So everything that happened, nothing's been reshooted, nothing was to trick you, reshot, whatever. Even if she did not die, this will still happen. So what the hell, people? Why would you complain about this? So Finn tries to escape, and while he's in the escape pods, he meets the new character, Rose Tico, which people seem not to like. I don't mind her at all. She's just an innocent person. I think her sister that died would probably be a better character, but I think she's supposed to be that dorky younger sister type of character. That's my pick from it. And they seem to have a lot in common because and also Finn seems to be freaked out by this because she's also, I think she's part Jenner as well because she was zap people that were escaping. That's why she zapped Finn because he was trying to escape, but he was trying to escape for a good cause, not for a bad cause. The rest of the people that she was zapping were afraid cats. So he tells Rose that the reason why he's trying to escape because they're traveling us through hyperspace, and that's when they have their moment in common and stuff like that. And so Finn tells Poe, and then Poe has this idea, and then they contact Maz Kanata, and then she tells them to go to Canto Bight to get a code breaker. And yeah, Canto Bight scenes are just, it is what it is. It is prequelish. There is a horse race. The horses look like they're from Harry Potter. There are some things that remind me of Harry Potter, Snoke's Praetorian Guards remind me of Harry Potter, the way they move and stuff like that. So let's talk about Rey and Kylo Ren Force Strike. I think the first time it was a bit horror elements. It's because the way it just stops and you hear whoosh, that noise, whoosh, something like that, and it seemed like they could only see each other, not what's around them. This force projection stuff was in Rebels, people have pointed out. So yeah, I like the first two. And also Kylo Ren was how are you doing this? The effort will kill you. You'll learn later who was doing this, really. So yeah, the first two were very horror-like. The third one was, I guess, play for laugh, kind of a little bit, in a way, but it doesn't seem that way. Not even a romantic setting, because, the third time they did it, Kylo Ren's shirt's off, and he is very awkward, the way his stance, the way he's, standing, he's very awkward, he's very embarrassed. I think at that point, he knows that it was Snoke that was doing it. I guess Snoke says, try to get her attention. Take off your shirt. Take off your shirt. Girls like it. Look at my abs. Ugh. Imagine Snoke taking off his shirt. He's all wrinkly and bone-like, probably. Look how sexy I am. The hilarious if it actually does. That actually happened. So now let's get into Rey's training about the Force and why it's bad. In the beginning, he's more a jokish. He's reach out, and she goes reach out like that. Not physically, more spiritually, I guess. Gets a leaf and tickles her hand, I can feel it! That feels a little bit improv-ish, a little bit probably, but as when she gets tuned with the Force, she feels the nature around her and the darkness of it, of all things. It's a balance, it's a Force. There's goodness, peacefulness, and there's chaos, and then she feels powerful darkness in the island as well. There's powerful light, powerful dark. Of course the first temple might have a part of the darkness with part of the light. So Skywalker says resist it, and she did not resist it. She went full force onto it. I think he pushed her, or did she just fall off the cliff on herself? From the first trailer where she goes I wonder if that was kind of confusing. Anyone in the novelization comes out who says that he pushes her. Hope so. It'd be hilarious. So I'm gonna explain all of the origins of Kylo Ren right now. So from Luke's perspective, the first time we hear, he says that he visited young Ben Solo in his room, and then he attacked him because Snoke already got to him. And then Kylo Ren told Rey when they're having their Force fight that Skywalker was gonna kill him with the green, killing a child with the green lightsaber. He was more like a young adult than a child, stupid. But yeah, he told that Luke Skywalker was going to kill him, and he defended himself. But then he says to Rey that like the reason why he's trying to kill him is because he sensed the power that was in him, and now he senses that power in you, and he's probably trying to kill you as well. Then Rey tries to go to that dark side cave, and then this is where we get like she's trying to like find answers to her parents, so she goes to the cave, and it has elements to Return of the Jedi, how Luke went into that dark side cave, whatever that Yoda told him to go to, instead of like Rey fighting Kylo Ren, cutting off the head in mask making and her face, infinite number of hers. Yes, there's more of her, and like trying to like see through the truth, and then she goes through the glass, and then it's just her. The last Force Strike where they like touched hands with each other and saw their futures, or a bit of the future, which calls back to like how when Luke was training with Yoda and how Luke saw the city in clouds, his friends are in danger, and then she saw the future of like when Kylo Ren was kill Snoke. Also during like when Luke versus Rey fight, like he's just dodging all that. He's pretty holding his ground, like this is nothing to him. But until she grabs her lightsaber, then things really doesn't go his way. So then, like, he actually explains what happened. Like, Snoke was already in his head, and there's no stopping that. And then that's when he turned off his lightsaber. I think he had his lightsaber on. Then Ben wakes up, and then he sees, like, his master trying to kill him, and he automatically goes to, like, the defense and tries to attack Luke. This is not gonna go the way you think, and yeah. She takes the Falcon, and goes off. So let's go back to the Canto Bite for a little bit. So they need a decoder guy to break the code on Snoke's ship, and they're supposed to find a guy with a rose pendant. They do, but they end up not. They end up getting captured by Canto Bite security, and they meet character DJ, knows how to break codes, and they go on Snoke's ship to break codes there. Also, another thing, those Canto Bite security guards, they look like they're from the prequels as well. Like, it is very prequel-ish, Harry Potter-ish, and whatever. So they go to Snoke's ship. They also end up getting captured on Snoke's ship as well. And also, DJ, when they get captured, DJ also tells them that these guys are here to break your code of the hyperspace tracker. And, yeah, so he just trades them up. Also, when they were heading towards there, DJ found that, like, because he stole the ship, like, these rich people, they don't care who buys what from them. So these rich people, like, make the Fourth Order ship, and they also make Resistance ships. Rich don't really care. And that's probably why I think they were tracking them. You also thought it might have been General Hodo, but it was not. Her story's a different story now. And it was just like, these rich snobs, they're horrible. They're horrible people. Just like the prequels, they're horrible. So then we get a fight between Phasma and Finn. The reason why they fight, I think it's when Hodo does a crash through their ship, through the hyperspace. That was pretty cool, actually. And she dies. People say that it should have been Leia or I don't know, Rathbar, but I guess it kind of makes sense it's her. I don't know. Like, no one really cared. She was kind of like a meal teacher type character. Like, don't do this, whatever. I know what you're about. Like, well, and she didn't trust Poe because he was demoted. Because, like, when you trust a guy that accidentally destroying half your fleet by not disobeying your commanders, that's why she was like that. That's what I got from that character. Okay, so back to what's on the ship. So, she crashes it. Finn and Phasma have a fight. I would like to see Finn get more injured. I know he's a good guy, but like he should got more injured. Like her staff have a pointy thingy. Like I don't want to see any one of my heroes get hurt, but there should have been more damage in that fight. He should have got stabbed a little bit, not like through the chest, like through a side, because like her staff has a pointy part on it, so got stabbed. But he did win that fight because of, well, she pushes him down the elevator shaft, and then, like, the elevator just comes back up. Forgot about that. Also, Rose distracts her by shooting at her, and her armor is very full, and then Finn gets a cheap shot right at her, and you see that her mask crack, and then she falls down her fiery doom. Like, I wonder why get, like, an actress like that from a big TV show like Game of Thrones. Like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, but, like, if she's an important character on that, and, like, she's in Star Wars now, and then you put her in this grand movie, it's like Space Game of Thrones. No pun intended, because of, you know, what happens. So, yeah, why get a big name actor like her and not use her in a cool way? Unless the make her come back with a fiery eye, whatever. But I also think she might be a clone for some reason. Because, like, well, it can clone a perfect commander and like that. They did that to Galen Merrick. And unfortunately, Darth Vader had his apprentice that was killed, and he was trying to clone him again. Trying to make one. So, why can't she just be also try to be a perfect clone of a general or captain, whatever what she is? So rewind to Rey now, before all this happened. So Rey goes on Snoke's ship, and Kylo Ren is waiting for her, and then he brings her to the Snoke's, and this is where we see elements from Return of the Jedi. Like, she tries to get a lightsaber, how Luke tries to get a lightsaber, but Snoke twirls around and bops her on the head with it. I didn't take it as comedic, I kept it as he's mocking her. Even though it was shown as comedic, I thought it was more like, oh, I'm more powerful than you, bitch. And then, like, he also, like, just twirling around her. When he brings her up closer, I thought he was just gonna briefly kiss her. For some reason, I don't know. Imagine if he just kiss her, like, that would be horrifying. Him just kissing anybody. I like to smooch people. Kylo Ren will kiss you next. Ugh. I already saw him naked. Jokes aside, it's also more elements, like how the Emperor was showing Luke, look at your rebels. They're getting defeated so easily. So it's Rey, like, the resistant people they're getting defeated so easily. You can't stop them. He also tries to grab Kylo Ren's lightsaber, like, and attacks. So, yes, that's the fiery Jedi spirit. You have the heart of a true Jedi. And then stop her again. Like, he also, I think he does that mind reading thing, how like Kylo Ren does, like, can look in the mind, and he goes like, oh, now I know where Skywalker is. After when we kill you, we're gonna kill Skywalker. My apprentice will be the one to kill you. You can see inside his mind. He's going to ignite the lightsaber that kills his true enemy. And Snoke was the one that killed, not Rey. Then everyone in my theater clap. But I didn't, because I saw this as play the clip.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No, I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend.
Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
He could actually save people from death.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
What happened to him?
He became so powerful. The only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep.
Exactly. It's exactly like the Emperor, how he killed his master. I saw it like that. So, Rey teamed up with Kylo Ren to defeat the Praetorian Guards. I called this 2 years ago! I'm probably thinking that Kylo Ren will be Ben again and team up with Rey to defeat Snoke. But I was off by one episode. Seeing them team up and taking on those Praetorian Guards and just slashing them through everything, it was pretty cool. Also, like, her hitting Kylo Ren, her lightsaber, just like, to one of the guards, just in their face. It was pretty cool, it was pretty sick. And then after when they, like, defeat all of them, like, this is what I got from the second viewing. He glances at the throne chair. He goes like, yes, this is mine now, the power. All I need is an apprentice. He did not say this out loud. This is probably what's going through his mind right now. So he tries to get Rey to join it. We can rule the galaxy together. Master and apprentice. That's what Darksiders do. They kill their masters, and they want an apprentice so they can, like, crave the dark side. One to have the power of the dark side, and one to crave it. Now, I wonder what the Knights of Ren, are they probably, like, possibly, like, Darksider, Jedi, whatever, Dark Jedi. Like, I know that Luke says, Kylo Ren, take a handful of my students with him. So those could be the Knights of Ren as well. So hopefully we'll see that in episode 9. So let's get to this movie right now. So, and it also says to Rey, like, you know what your parents are? And she replies, they're nobody. Yeah, they're drinkers. They sold you off for drinking money. That's probably what he saw when he touched hand. She saw his future, he saw her past. Also, Kylo Ren's goal of the movie is to pass die, kill it if we have to. She did. He killed Han Solo, he killed Snoke, he did not kill his mom, but we never got to have a scene with Adam Driver and Carrie Fisher scene together as mother and son. Aw, man. She's sad. But as, like, Rey, she goes for the yes, but fake out. She tries to grab her lightsaber. You know, a tug of war with a lightsaber. And then that's when General Holo does her hyperspeed thing. And there's a lot of collisions in this, like, when she does that. Like, she rents Finn and Rose getting killed. She prevents tug of war between Rey and Kylo Ren. And also, they end up breaking the lightsaber as well. I think, no wait, was that the one that knocks the both of them out? I wonder, should I make this accurate? Should I break this, make it accurate now? Yeah, you're right. And I should buy another one and break that. So, I like when, like, Hux sees, like, all the chaos will happen in the throne room. He looks at Kylo Ren and, like, goes for his blaster, like, huh, did he do all this? And he wakes up, like, he let go of his blaster and, like, hides it behind his cloak. He goes, like, what happened? The girl killed Supreme Leader Snoke. It's like, what? She did this? Kylo Ren wants to, like, still go after the resistance. Like, we don't have a Supreme Leader. Like, he tries to choke him, like, yes! Choke him! Kill him! Like how Vader does, like, all the things. But yeah, he force chokes him, like, yeah, the Supreme Leader is dead. He's like, long live the Supreme Leader. So, yeah, they go to Crate. Like, that was, Holdo's plan. Like, she should have told Poe, but Poe might have done something stupid if he did do it. Like, he could have got the escape pods, try to attack the ships with the escape pods, or something like that, or something stupid. Like, I wonder if that's why she didn't trust him. Like, on the Crate battle scenes, that looks like a war part. Like, they have, like, the trenches for war, and, like, they have their guns up. You also see, our Rogue One director, Gareth Edwards. So yeah, it does look like a war. More than Warden Edwards did. So yeah, they did lose a lot more men in this battle and stuff like that. They also have a battering ram that's like a cannon, going to blast the door down. It's like, Finn goes for it. You think Finn's gonna, like, sacrifice himself. And then Rose pops out of nowhere. You think Rose is going to sacrifice herself, but she ends up crashing to Finn and... What? Was that a reshoot kind of? Like, Ryan Johnson, did you think that this Rose character was going to be the most popular, funnest character ever? I thought the reason why she was out there is that she wasn't going to sacrifice herself, because, like, she's just, like a person that shocks people. It's like, why is she there? Thought she was going to sacrifice herself. Also, forgot to mention, to get the TIE Fighter out of the way, the Millennium Falcon comes for the rescue. Also, Rey gets, like, a good shot at 3 TIE Fighters, which I caught in my second viewing. 3 TIE Fighters, like, 3 in a row, tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. That was pretty sweet. Finn goes like, why'd you do this? Why? Like, and she goes like, because the people we love, we gotta rescue them, not sacrifice, whatever. And then she kisses him, which was very weird. She just like leans in like, what? I bet that's her thing. I bet she kisses people. Like, next movie, she's gonna try and kiss Rey, I bet. What? Like, everyone has a thing. Rey's the Jedi, Finn's the traitor to the Force Order, Poe's the pilot, Rose the kisser. Makes sense! They all have the thing! Oh, like Chewie with the bowcaster. See? Everybody has the thing! Rose is the kisser! So then, in their darkest hour, Luke comes. He hands Leia Han's old dice, and then, like, says, like, there's no light in Ben left, and Lego, like, I know that. He goes up against the Force Order, like, he said that earlier, like, what do you want me to do, go against the Force Order? Which he does later, and then Ren, like, sees, like, all walkers fire at that one person! Very yelly, just like Hux. So you do, and then it does nothing to him. That was hilarious. And then Ren goes down himself, tries to fight Luke. At this point, like, he has a blue lightsaber. I thought, are there 2? Like, what? Because, like, if you notice that, like, in the first Star Wars, it's different from Empire Strikes Back. It has, like, bolts on here. It doesn't have the bubbles in Empire. Rey has the one with no bubbles on it, and she has the one from Empire, which, so I thought it was different. And then, like, the fight, like, I guess the fight, there's no clash or whatever. He's not there. He was force projecting himself miles away apart. That's when everyone's like, yeah, Luke Skywalker's cool. That's when I also did notice that their hair color was different. But, like, I noticed that when, like, oh, he's projecting himself miles away. So I did not think that he had a haircut or whatever. It's like, I'm pretty dumb, I'm a dum-dum. But, yeah. And then, like, Luke, after that, vanished because, like, or in the film, like, Kylo Ren says, like, to Rey, like, you can't do this, able to do this, he'll kill you. And then Luke vanished into the Force. Beautiful ending to it. Not mad, not sad that much. Like, second viewing I was sad. But, yeah, I think it was a beautiful way to go out like that. With the twin sons, like, oh, it's just like in the first movie, where he was just like, I want to go out into the world and stuff like that. But now he's been out into the world. He's on this island, and now he's just remembering that one moment that he just wanted to do. And now he did it. He's Luke Skywalker, the legend. Also, before that, Kylo Ren goes like, I have killed the last Jedi. And Luke goes like, nope, I am not the last Jedi. Then I'll kill her. Rey is the spark of hope that the Resistance needs as the Resistance tries to escape, because like they follow the crystal foxes, like, oh, where are they going? Oh, how? Why is there less and less and less? There's a back cave and it's covered up by rocks, and Rey moves some rocks, and there's the hope that they need. The Last Jedi is actually pretty great. It's actually pretty fun. It's yeah. The only problem is with some people is like these things to accept some things. I know that Luke is probably their favorite character, and that's like they're not gonna be happy with that. He's my favorite character as well, but some things need to end. There's going to be more Star Wars movies. It can't have Luke Skywalker all the time. So this is a perfect end for him. Star Wars is a vast universe that has the past with other Jedis as the future Jedis possibly. Not that broom kid we saw at the end. Possibly not, even though he had the Force. People mentioned that he was grabbing the broom with the Force. Like, what? When did he do that? No, I remember he picked up the broom like a lightsaber, but then I saw the second viewing, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how it happens. Because like he walks outside the door, and it's like he picks up the broom like that with the Force, like turns and like whoosh, grabs like that. And also, the movie has very cool visuals with Hodel like going to hyperspace and like just muting the audio, and it's just like. And then we got Luke going up to the First Order. That's going to be my screensaver probably. This is currently my screensaver. But and also BB-8 is very OP. You can hack those walker chicken thingies, whatever. And they're birds. There's birds. They're just everywhere. That's what Ryan Johnson was intention, that there's birds. Yeah, so overall, it's different. So what's there to be mad about? Some people didn't like Force Awakens because it was too similar to the original movie. This one's different. It has some elements in it that will be familiar, but it's different. What do you want? Original recipe of Star Wars? It seems like some of these fans are just being big old babies, and you don't know what they really want. So overall, I'm giving it a 9.5. I like this movie, and I don't care if it's different. It's not like a original Star Wars movie. Star Wars is supposed to be about space people. It's supposed to be wacky and weird. This is wacky and weird. What do people want? I'm baffled by the fan reactions. It's a good movie. You don't realize that if it's not your taking, then you should have just walked out of the theater from The Force Awakens, because you should have been done there. That's what you get. That's just Star Wars. Should have gone from there. This was not going to go the way you guys think. Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. See, it says that in the trailer. You think those are just cool lines? No, they're physical lines. Like I said, Star Wars is a brass majority of people, not just these three characters. The Force is everywhere. Like that broom kid. It's in him. It's in Rey. The Force surrounds us. It penetrates us. Also, I forgot about the Yoda thing. He also says that Rey took the books. That girl Rey, that knows what she's doing, whatever. Something like that. It's not Star Wars fans versus Star Trek fans. It's Star Wars fans versus Star Wars fans, which is ridiculous. Some people like this movie, some people don't like this movie. Well, at least I liked it. And understand what's the different take from this movie. It's different. It's unique. And also that Reylo stuff is not going to happen. Also, probably going to see the Knights of Ren, and she's going to kill them all, and then possibly kill Kylo Ren as well, along with the Knights of Ren. It's going to be epic. Bloodbath! And possibly no homages to the original movies, because they're done with all the homages. Please, give me a comment down below. Give me a like, it helps me out, and subscribe for more. I've been Mac1, and may the Force be with you. Always. Wait, Hodo says, may God be with you, for some reason. And also another person said that earlier on. What? Well, whatever. May the Force be with you.